Previously on the Painted Dungeon.
Well, I'm walking around stabbing people and taking their souls into my sword right now, so I'm not worried about resting. I personally was okay.
By the way, are you forgetting something important that you might have left on that ship?
You may be right.
I need everybody else to leave except...
We're playing musical chair, guys.
Are you okay? What happened here?
And as you come over and speak to him and reach for his shoulder, and you see it is Smoggy.
What?
Smoggy's hands have been chopped off. They're wrapped in bloodied bandages that look like they've been needing the changing for quite some time. And I wish you the best in that, my boy.
But you'll always be my man, Smoggy.
Fist bump! Oh no!
He says thank you, and then he takes the stump and he rubs your knee with it because he can only reach your knee.
I just did 53 damage.
Awesome.
Nice. And I also got a crit from Shadow Crow, so it's plus 58 damage.
Oh
crap!
Awesome.
100 damage.
And you're the closest and easiest thing for her to grab, and she goes to grab you. So you need to make a athletics. She natural 20s.
Oh,
She grabs you. She grabs you and she hurls you, and you fly a total of 140 feet down that way. Greetings, beholders, and welcome to the Painted Dungeon. I am Stephen Oakes, your host. This is Mike Anderson, Bianca Cardenas, Danny Cardenas, Dee Jarvis, Anders Cardenas, and Emmy Anderson. Last week, we left off with the party having just engaged in battle with a family of frost giants who were herders who had devoured Gilby's adoptive father, Smoggy's woman, his love. And the party was successful in destroying the frost giants, and they have corpses of these giants around them. Darkness has come across. It is now nighttime on the side of the mountain, and Thram is supposed to be looking for Azrael's flames as Erilyn periodically is flying up on her mount and doing a circle and then coming back in to their camp to light the way for Thram to meet up with them. Smoggy speaks up and he says, sitting next to Gilby, you know, when that rammer has, it's a very big beastie. I don't know if any of you know what a Remmerhaz is.
I've never heard of this Remmerhaz. What is this beast?
It's essentially a giant worm, snake-ish creature that burrows through the snow and just eats and devours whatever it wishes.
Yes, and it's quite large. Very, very, very large. Large enough to devour an elk. So, we maybe don't want to stay here. I don't see any evidence of a slain Remmerhaz about here. Just a thought.
Has Thram made it back yet?
Thram has not yet made it back.
Okay. Well, we should at least wait for Thram before we head off. We don't want him playing the searching game while we're trying to move.
He could probably spot out Erlin's steed to find us, because I mean she can fly up and her flames are his or her.
Azrael's a dude.
It's a dude. Okay, then his flames, and he could probably find us. Thram could probably find us with that. So I think we should probably get out of here. Smoggy's saying that this beast will be around to probably eat or kill us. So.
All right. So, are we leaving now?
I don't know. That's my opinion, but.
Did we loot last time?
You did loot. Yes.
It's up to you, Erilyn. Do you want to be up in the sky while we make our way back down the mountain?
I think I can manage just fine. I'm sure Thram is more than capable of finding us as long as I'm in the air.
Very well.
Sounds good.
All right. So the party starts to make their way down the side of the mountain, and Azrael and Erilyn are periodically doing a loop around the party as the group makes their way down. And Thram, you are making your way back to, not back, but to where the party said they would be. And as you're flying through the night sky, it's getting quite cold, and you do see a little light of Azrael, little glowing fire flurrying around in the air, far away in the mountain, and you feel confident in heading in your course and direction. Why don't you make a perception check to see if you spot Midnight Flame?
I do.
With a natural 20, you're like, oh, I recognize those flames in the air, and you definitely feel confident in recognizing Midnight Flame making his way back to you guys. All right, what is everybody's passive perception check?
Including mine?
Discluding
Passive
It's a whopping 11.
perception is 9.
Remember, you have +1 if you are with your mouse.
So 12.
16.
10.
16,
14.
14,
17.
17.
17. Okay. All right. So Zulkul and Nareda, the two of you. Let me see a party formation. Tell
Are we
me.
still pulling
Yeah.
Smoggy on the sled? So then I will be right in front of you guys, but in the back
I'll be in
of
the back.
pack.
Yeah. Because I'm pulling him, so I'll be in the back. Since I'm
Well, there's only 3 of us right now, 4 of us.
Well, I'm up in the air. I don't
Because
really-
you're in the air,
Probably.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, I'll take the front.
Wow, look at you.
in the front.
In the front.
Yeah.
Galadesh and Murad.
I'd be as close to the front as I could be.
Alright, then I'll be the middle.
Good for you.
You're up in the air. Arlen and Azrael's.
Everyone's battling for the front.
Okay. And you're about 80 feet up in the air, so you can still hear it from your party, hopefully. So, as you guys are moving along, Nareda and Zulkul, you two spot what looks like, kind of like what Zeta looks like as she is tunneling. So the party then, not the party, but just Zulkul and Nareda. You see a tunneling, like snow being pushed up very quickly as it is making its way towards you guys.
Great.
This will go well.
So how do you guys react? Do you react?
Yep. Scatter! That's what I say.
I'm just fly up a little bit higher in the air.
Yeah, I yell scatter.
I'll have Smoggy jump onto my mount. I'll tell Smoggy, get on, quick.
So you pick him up and you throw him? He's stumpy, he can't climb, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him. Well,
That's what I wanted.
Sobek's gonna like lean down and then...
Oh, crap. Give me a sec. I'll help you up.
No, I'll help him up. Like, Sobek will get down and I'll help him up and then we'll...
Okay, you can order Sobek to go down.
Yeah.
I would advise it, trying to get him to pick up anybody that you like. So,
He's like, oh.
so he gets down, and you go over, and you're pulling Smoggy to try to pull him up onto Sobek, and Smoggy's kind of like, okay, whatever you say, son. And as you guys are pulling up, why doesn't everybody roll initiative? Bad news. Remmer has got a natural 20.
Good.
So, bursting out of the snow, but not quite as big as you pictured, is a Remmer has that bursts up next to Zulkul and Zeta. And it makes an attack.
Shield!
It comes up and it bites.
For me, if it's coming for me.
It bites and goes at your shield, and it overcorrects because it bounces off of the shield. It can't see, and it passes you. You have an attack of opportunity against it.
This is 16.
That is a 16 to hit. It does hit.
Okay. Sweet.
And after the Remmer has Nareda, Zulkul, Gilby, Murad, Erlen, Thram won't go this first round. Actually, it has a hasted round, so it's
17 damage.
17 damage.
Yeah, I rolled really well. And I get 1 health point back.
Excellent.
I'm at 39 now.
It comes up to bite you again, and it right after you stab it, and it bounces off of your magical shield. Next up, it is Nareda.
Okay, I'm attacking with my rapier in the sneak attack, and I got 24.
24 damage?
Yeah, 24
All
damage.
right.
And plus 29 damage from Shadow Claw. So,
What did you
Very nice.
really high to that?
This Rimmer has, as you guys come in,
15.
Shadow Quill pounces right onto the Remmer has, sinking its beak and its claws and shaking its neck to create lots of blood. Red as that moment Narita is stabbing into the Remmer has. Zulkul, it is now your turn.
Okay, I bonus action put my Hexblade Curse on the animal. I deal 33 points of damage to him. Zeta critically fails.
Okay. Right as Zeta comes in to bite, and you have just stabbed it twice with your blade, the Remmer has twitches and then finally stops moving and collapses on the ground.
Cool.
And Smoggy says, "Oh, that's wonderful. Not the one I saw, but great job." You guys start to make your way back down the mountain again. And Thram, you're getting closer and closer. And with your passive perception checks, this time, Narita, you spot a very, very large tunneling burrow headed to the direction of Galadesh and Murad.
Yeah, I just spotted a really big hole.
Yeah,
Something
It's like
tunneling.
tunneling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So everyone turns over, and you guys see this Rimmer has, and Galadesh, because of the natural 20 roll, right as you turn around, you see a massive creature. And here's for your viewing pleasure up here. Got a good focus on that. This is the Rimmer has. All right. And by the way, this is a company I work for, Gale Force 9, and I paid for them. Woohoo! Okay, so bursting out of the ground, the Rimmer has comes in and it bites. And it gets almost 30 to hit you. So it comes in, and not caring which target it bites, it naturally is going to have an easier grab on Galadesh than you. And it comes in and bites right at Galadesh, coming in at his throats, dealing 67 piercing damage. And a soaring heat you feel radiating, no longer cold, as it feels like a fire is right next to you guys, on you, dealing 18 points of fire damage, not to you, but to Galadesh.
Steve, turn it down.
Galadesh will now make a grapple escape check, needing a 20.
You got it, homie. No, you don't. You don't got it.
Okay, so Galad, you guys see, Murad, you're going to have to make you can make an athletics to stay atop of Galadesh, but right now, Galadesh has been heaved up into the airs to the height that the worm is comfortable with, and it is being held aloft in the jaws of the Rimmer has. A 16. Alright, you are still holding on tightly with your strong legs. You are still mounted aboard of Galadesh, trying to keep him safe. It is now...
Galadesh is going to use his legendary action and heal himself for 11 hit points.
You heal yourself for 11 hit points, and I forgot it's hasted on its first round because of its natural 20, and it attacks and bites again. And it's going to do the same amount of damage: 67 piercing, 18 fire damage.
Galadesh is down.
A whole bunch of blood squirts out, and being a little bit too big to swallow, it drops Galadesh, and you both fall onto the ground. But Galadesh is not moving right now. He's moving a little bit, but he's not able to stand up. Next up, it is Thram's turn.
Perfect. Am I close enough?
Now, Thram, you're going to come
far
in,
am I?
and you can make one more dash, and you can be there. Right now, you were starting to see his large silhouette, but your first turn here in this combat is going to be dashing to get back to the party.
Okay.
Narita, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 does just barely misses.
Oof.
It has a very tough carapace. As you guys come in, you didn't get quite a good feel with the snake-like movement and you kind of bounce off and not quite penetrating into its flesh.
Yeah, I missed it. The Shadow Crow hit for
29 points of damage.
yeah.
All right, Shadow Claw comes in, tearing and scratching into its flesh, piercing its armor, dealing a hefty 30 points of damage, just about to the Remmerhaz. Zulkul, it is now your turn.
Sweet. As I see that occurring, I am going to cast Blur on myself. That's my last spell slot.
You cast Blur as your form becomes a shimmer, and
then-
you're harder to pin down.
I will have Nareda do her lightning breath.
Now, if you do,
Not Nareda, Zeta. Sorry,
if you
my
do your
brain.
lightning breath, just as a fair warning. Okay.
I will have
so
a move where-
you're able to lift. Zeta can lift her head a little bit with how high it is in the air, and Murad is prone with Galadesh, so you can actually blast it.
Alrighty. That's going to be a dex save from the Remmerhaz.
Okay, you get a full-on hit, dealing
Okay, that's
How
going
much
to be
damage?
50 lightning damage, good sir.
beautiful. And Thram, you definitely recognize that thunder going in a straight line and hitting this large moving creature. You see that the party is engaged in battle. Gilby, it is now your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna bardically inspire
Murad?
Murad. Yes. I'm gonna bardically inspire Murad, and then I will. Sobek will get to him, and he'll bonus action reckless attack him. And then, so that's advantage, right? On
Yes, that's advantage, good sir.
Okay, so that's definitely a hit. Can he bite and claw because he's so big, or just bite?
He can just bite.
Okay.
You can artistically describe it as claws once in a while if you would like, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
It
so
has
he'll
two.
go.
Yeah.
He'll go and bite. He got a 27 to hit. So he'll take 33 damage. I don't think he can be grappled. I wouldn't think.
No.
He can hold on to him a little bit, but he's a size category larger than him,
Yeah.
so he would have an advantage over that.
Okay. Okay, and then I will cast Vicious Mockery on it and just tell it, you will be our next victim. And I'll say, my Sobek will be eating you soon.
Now that makes his next attack disadvantaged.
Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. Does he save throw for it, or is it a...
Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery.
It's a save. I believe.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save. It's a wisdom
Okay,
save.
well, we all know monsters have a high wisdom. He fails. That was sarcasm.
So 2d4. He takes 2d4 damage. 4. Oh,
Wow.
Max damage.
8
nice.
damage.
Yeah, 8
All
damage.
right,
Max
beautiful.
damage on it. So he
That-
has disadvantage on his next attack.
That'll really help you guys. Murad, it is now your turn.
Alright. I'll spin up half my movement speed to stand up, so I'm not prone anymore. I'm going to actually try to do would it be a medicine check or animal handling?
You can do either or.
Neither one's the same.
Oh, that's good.
It's a 19.
Wonderful. With your 19, you're able to patch up using some bandages, quickly wrap up, and he is no longer bleeding out. It is now Erlen's turn.
Alrighty, I fly down to the monster.
Yes.
My lowest hit was a 20, not natural.
Then you hit.
Great. So I ended up critting once, so I do... My sword lights up, and I end up doing 40 damage to the creature. And then Azrael also hits. I don't know if it takes full fire damage, but
Hasted.
it's 15 fire damage and 11 physical damage.
As
Plus another 5 from my fire aura, though I don't think that affects it.
as the fire comes in to sear, you should be seeing some boiling of flesh, some blackened charcoal appearing on it, and nothing is happening to it. It's completely immune to fire.
That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
It
with
is,
the fire
but
based
you
now.
dealt a considerable amount of damage with your black necrotic blade.
I have a question.
Yes.
With action surge, I have 2 attacks, so I'd have a third attack.
You'd have a total of 4 attacks with an action.
See, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. That's what I rolled for.
So,
That was supposed
Very
to
good.
be based on this round.
The Remmer has on its turn it is seeing that it is now surrounded in a bad predicament, and so it's going to react accordingly. It is going to make an attack against Narita.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Wonderful. So it gets a 21 to hit you. What's your armor class?
17.
So it grabs you, and you need to make a grapple escape check of 20. You can add, so you roll a d20 plus your acrobatics, which is in your dexterity.
Really nice.
18.
With your 18, you're able to what should be able to escape out of its jaws, but its fangs are too deep into you. You suffer 67 piercing damage, 18 fire damage, and it pulls you off of Shadow Quill, and it goes into the ground and tunnels 20 feet diagonally down.
Would it
So-
take attack of opportunity from all?
It gets attack of opportunity from Shadow Quill, and from Sobek, and from Gilby, and from Arlen, and Azrael. All of you make an attack of opportunity. You will have advantage because of how many of you and the size of creatures surrounding it. So Shadow Quill will make an attack as well.
I'm gonna turn down the music some more.
Yes.
So 33 damage from Sobek.
33 damage.
And Shadow Crew crit. So it's 58.
58.
58 damage.
So another 11 from Azrael and 6 from me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great roll.
Okay. I got all of you who are next to it, I believe.
Wasn't he?
No, but he's medicine checking.
He's medicine
Oh,
checking. He's not
okay.
engaged in combat currently. Okay. Let me
she's
see
dead.
where it's at right now.
Yeah, who's
I'll
dead?
assess.
Right, she is.
You
Overkill.
guys are tearing into it with
dead
a
by
tremendous
overkill?
amount of damage,
Yeah. But
and
She wouldn't be dead from overkill yet. She's not dead.
and the Remmer has is continuing to move, however, and continuing to burrow under the ground. It is now Thram's turn. Thram, you are about 80 feet away from where it was, but because of the extra movement, you would have to dash into the tunnel, but you wouldn't be able to attack.
So what I'll probably do then is I'll go to the. Can I see which way it's burrowing?
From where you're at, I mean, you can make your decisions and see where it's at, but you'd have to make the movement beforehand because it's in a dark tunnel
Oh well, I'm not.
without.
I'm
his
saying, can I
lights.
see from where I'm at in the sky? Is it going
You see,
down
you
or is
see
it?
the surface of the hole, and it's dark right now with dark vision. Honestly, like
Not really.
seeing the hole is only because Azrael is lighting up the area.
Then I'll fly over top of the hole. I'm not going to go down though. Like I'll stay up above.
Okay, you fly in. You guys see Midnight Flame and there we go. Midnight Flame and Thram come down to the area. Not too sure of what's happened at all at this point, but knowing that there was some conflict and this big creature just burrowed into the ground and seeing a big hole. And that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to hold my action basically. So I'm still going to be up probably 30 or 40 feet in the air,
Okay.
but high enough because since I can see where the hole is from.
Okay. You're about right here.
Yeah.
Present. Now, it is Zulkul's turn.
With Zeta's ability to burrow and her natural adeptness to that, would she be able to tell the direction of where that's burrowing by the movement of the earth?
You see a dark hole, and that's it. I mean, you saw the tail kind of flick up. You can follow the hole when you're like up next to it, but it's very dark in this area right now. You can follow it.
Okay. I will actually move then. I'll have Zeta move and I'm going to try to stabilize our
Okay, so
our companion over here.
How much was it? 62 bite damage?
no.
And-
Not Narita.
I'm sorry. Narita is in the jaws, and she's underground with the creature right now.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to go into the tunnel.
Okay,
I'm going to burrow straight down and see if I actually
so
can meet.
you burrow actually quite a bit faster than it does. That's a burrow speed of 20 feet. I think yours is 30. What's your burrow speed?
I don't know actually from the upgrades, but it was 15.
It's burrow,
swim is
your burrow
25.
speed is 15. Oh, okay, okay. With a dash,
Yes,
it would be
yes,
faster.
yes.
Okay, so dashing 30 feet, you're able to get you can see it, but you can't reach it with your blade. Okay, but you can see it as you guys have tunneled in and you're trying to chase after it.
Okay. I can't reach it with the.
You can't reach it with your blade,
But I
if
can't
you have
reach
a
it with a
ranged
cantrip.
attack of some kind.
Yeah. Okay, I will shoot Eldritch Blast. Actually, poison spray at it.
Total damage is doing
Ooh,
62,
that
and
hits.
then what's the fire damage?
12.
67 piercing, 18 fire.
Wow.
Oh,
2 damage.
So write that
Wow.
down. So
Poison.
negative that.
How much damage? 2
Two
damage?
poison.
67.
that's good.
Alright. Okay. It is looking really hurt. Lots of blood, like the snow is just red as you're burrowing through it at this point in this tunnel, as it is all focused in this tunnel. So it is definitely badly hurt, and hopefully it's not Narita's. Some of it probably is Narita's blood. And
Minus 19.
that is your turn. It is now Gilby's turn.
Okay. Well, I
Now,
don't.
Gilby, you see Zeta and Zulkul. They are pretty much taking up the space, but you could. I don't know. Depending on where you can move to, depends on whether or not a ranged attack is available to you. What you're moving.
Would I be able to see where it's burrowing to?
So you see it going diagonally this way because you're at an angle looking down in that direction. You see that that's where it went, but you cannot see it personally right now unless you are inside this tunnel.
Can I I want to use shatter. That's why I'm asking, because I don't know if I would be able to use shatter in that.
Right. I mean, you can. There are risks involved, but
Yeah.
that is up to your discretion, not the
Oh
dungeon
yeah, it might hurt
master's.
her too. Well, it will hurt her.
She is with it, yeah. It's a thing.
She's ragnalling right now, going.
She's going to the snow.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start chasing after it. I mean, there's not much we can up from above, and we'll just start running that direction. There's not really much we can do.
Okay, so you're not going into the tunnel?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
don't think we'll really fit.
Yeah, Sobek
You will,
isn't
but
a
not
burrowing
Yeah.
creature. It could follow in the tunnel, but with you atop of it, it would create a lot of problems. Also, Smoggy is currently atop.
Yeah. We'll stay up top.
He's frantically holding on to your tail is what is happening right now.
Okay.
Okay. His little stuff.
She's
Okay.
giving you a big hug.
Well,
Stop. It's a big hub.
Murad, it is your turn, prison.
All right. Well, seeing that I've now stabilized Galadesh, I'm gonna feed him a potion.
Okay.
That'll be my action.
You feed Galadesh a potion of healing. He starts blinking his eyes more calmly and gets up. He says thank you in your mind telepathically. And it is now Errolyn's turn.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go in the tunnel. So it's a larger creature than I am, right?
Yes.
So then I'm
it
gonna
is.
go in the tunnel.
Okay. You're going into the tunnel. It is still a tight fit because even though it's very big, it's moving like,
Yeah.
laterally. Okay. Sideways. So you're following, and after it, you're kind of hunched down, but you can see Zeta and Zulkul in front of you. There is some room for a ranged attack if you have a ranged attack available
I
to you.
do. Alrighty. Well, doesn't matter. I don't hit. So
You fire off twice with your hand crossbow, and
nothing happens.
they both miss or
Correct.
hit into the snow, and you're trying not to hit your friends. And so the tunnel's getting a little crowded. Right now it is now the Remmer has his turn. And okay, the Remmer has is continuing to burrow, and instead of taking the time to swallow as it is almost dead, it is going to continue to move. And so this time it's going to dash and move a total of 40 feet. It's moving in a straight direction. There's not a ton of room up or down, as it cannot burrow through earth. It can only burrow through snow. So it is still going through the snow, and it is trying to preserve itself right now. So it is just dashed for its whole turn. It is now Thram's turn.
So can I see the snow where it's burrowing through? Can I see the snow like mounding up?
You can, at this time, You did for a little bit. You see the initial direction, but eventually it does drop in as it does go undetected. Generally, when it goes deep enough, when it gets ready to attack, then it surfaces kind of like a shark attacking someone on the surface.
Is it 20 feet? The reason I ask is it 20 feet below the surface or less?
It is. You have probably 35 feet of snow
On top of it?
on top of the mountain itself, and so it's working within that, going as close to the dirt as it can.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's enough room in the tunnel for me, so...
You can go into the tunnel and make an attack. It just has a very high armor class right now because of all the cover with all your friends following it as well. So you can go up and you can catch up right behind Azrael, who's right behind
Alright.
Zeta, but it has a very high armor class.
So I'll do that, I'll action surge, and I'll use fighting spirit.
Well, does that apply to ranged attacks? I think that's only melee, but I could be wrong.
On which one?
Well, I
Fighting
assume
Spirit?
you're using ranged attacks. Fighting Spirit is a samurai ability.
It says advantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming the ones that I got 20 won't hit at this point because it's got a higher AC.
So its armor
but
class right now, you need a 24 presently with all
That's
the
a
cover.
20. I have two that are 24.
Excellent.
So that is going to be. So I'll miss 2 with my heavy crossbow, and the next 2 will hit, and it will take 15.
Okay.
21 total damage.
You fire off with your big two-handed crossbow,
Yep,
right?
the big heavy.
And you fire hoping not to hit your friends. And your aim is true. It goes in and it pierces into the creature and it completely stops moving, and you all kind of have to pull back on your reins and stop. But you know that burrowed past its body all the way at the top is likely where Narita's at. So
With us having fire auras under the snow, can we basically...
the snow right now is turning into ice around you guys with your heat, like an igloo.
Okay.
Is what's happening. So the snow is hardening, which is better than other things that could happen.
Yeah.
So
We're almost solidifying the tunnel so it doesn't
you are
cave in.
solidifying the tunnel.
I actually don't have Zeta stop burrowing. I'm going to have Zeta burrow through the worm to the other side to try to get to...
Right up Main Street.
Okay, well, it's not made of earth. Earth has an armor class of 10. This has an armor class of 18.
okay, that doesn't work. Okay, I will
So-
burrow around.
She'll burrow it one foot
If you want to
further.
burrow through a gelatinous cube at some point, you'd never want to do that. But you
Yeah.
can.
Good.
I just had this great imagery. Just, and then,
If there's a dead, like, stone giant, at some point or something, maybe. We'll see.
Steve's like, I'm gonna put a stone giant just so you can go right through this stone
Something
giant.
with the dense armor, you won't be a burrowable entity.
Could you burrow through it if it's alive? That's the question.
If its armor class was low enough,
Could you
I may
imagine?
allow it.
There's a stone giant, and Zeta's just like, see you
You want
right
to
through
burrow
his
through a
stomach.
water
and man,
elemental?
the freaking Thanos.
The earth
No.
elemental. We'll see what happens. Okay.
Okay, I burrow around then to
You
try to
burrow
get.
around it.
I have Zeta dash so I can stabilize her. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll use my action to
Okay.
stabilize her.
Because of the situation that you've been in, I want you to make 2 death saves and both at disadvantage because
no.
you've been in the jaws
No.
of this creature during this time.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
you
that
critically
sucks.
fail?
Yeah,
Is it
that
medicine?
one didn't work.
Right.
That was one of them. So now roll another one.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
why
no.
were you the one that did that? Why didn't you wait?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is the.
Okay, you critically failed on one and you failed on one. Is that correct?
She's already dead
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
And that sucks because you got a natural 20. Natural 20 and a critical fail on the same...
You burrow and dig your way to Narita, and you pull her out of the jaws, and you guys start heading back to the surface. Yeah,
Yep.
she's not moving, she's not breathing. You pop up to the surface. What do you do? What do you say?
Gilby, I believe you have this ability, or maybe it's
Yeah. Is she dead?
yes.
Okay, I'll jump down and cast Revivify.
She dead yet? Yep, okay, I got this.
And I'll have to use my level.
got you.
I don't have any level
She's
3, so I'll
alive,
use
but
my
I know
level
what
4
she said.
spot, and I'll go and Revivify her.
Okay. You gasp with air, Narita, as you are now breathing again, but you were unconscious and will need rest to recuperate. So Narita is unconscious, but she is breathing, and her wounds have been closed up enough to where she's not bleeding out. She seems safe for the moment, but very vulnerable at this time.
Hey,
Shadow Close.
Shadow Quill is still on.
Shadow
I'll
Quill is coming over to Narita, and she is he is nuzzling Narita, trying to get a reaction out of you, and then takes a minute to realize that you're hurt and just stays glued right next to you during this time.
I'm gonna walk up to. I forgot your name. Murad. I'm gonna be like, and what's your horse's name?
Oh my gosh, Galadesh.
Murad and Galadesh. I just put this on the video from last time. Anyway, how is Galadesh doing, Murad?
He's alive.
Very well.
Very hurt, but alive.
He's a lot of damage he took.
He's alive.
Yes.
I'll say we should. If you guys want to search the beast, we should be quick, but we should. I can play my harp to heal some while we're headed down, but we should probably get out of here as quickly as possible.
Smoggy, was this the one that attacked your village?
That is the beast. That is the beastie.
Would we be safe to set camp here, or do you fear there's more?
I have no idea how many are underground, but I know that we don't want to fight anymore. If you're safe to travel, maybe we should travel. I don't know.
Let us at least get where the snow is not as deep.
We could head back up the mountain and go into the cave and move that boulder that the giants had moved and you and Sobek moved before, moved out of the way. Move that back, and the cave is not made of ice. The cave is made out of rock.
That is our closest destination?
That is our closest safe point from burrowing snow beasts.
What's everyone say?
I'm for it.
I think that might be the wisest decision here.
Like, you guys look like you're in rough shape. I missed a lot, so whatever you guys need, let's get it taken care of.
I'm
So
actually
you
not
guys
that bad anymore.
can rest.
Well, good for you, man.
I agree.
It's called
Are you casting your healing at this time on?
Yeah, I'll be playing
Where
my
are
harp.
you distributing your heals?
So
But I
it's.
personally with
I'll
this
cast both because I only have 2 left on my cure wounds. So I'll cast 1 cure wounds on Nareda and 1 on Galadesh.
Now, as Galadesh has been revived, his horn is glowing and he can distribute some healing as well.
I forgot how much cure wounds was.
Okay, so then you guys head back to the spot where you came from, and you guys do the plan. You were uninterrupted. You get the boulder moved back kind of in place. You think nothing that big can get through into the cave. You guys are in the safety of a rocky cave, and you all get a long rest.
Oh, sweet.
You get all your health and your abilities back.
I was really low on health there, so I'm glad I got long rest. I had all 3 temporary. Oh wait, no, 5 temporary hit points still. So I didn't take any damage.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay, as you guys awaken, the sun is shining through the crack of the opening of the cave, and you're all ready to begin your journey back. Now, where exactly is it that you guys would like to go at this time?
Well, we should find out if we're safe to go back to Thai Town.
Smoggy pipes up. I had an idea about that. Why don't we go to the outskirts of Thai Town, and I will go up and ask around at the watchtower and see if the purifiers have left.
I think that's a good idea, Smoggy.
High five.
He holds up a stump. You guys do an elbow bump.
Yep.
He kind of smiles at that and he nods his head like, yeah, I can do elbow bumps. And you guys make your journey back to Thai Town, uninterrupted.
I will attempt to make better hand-crafted things from wood for him with my whittling.
Well, I'm making
See how this
drumsticks
goes.
again.
You made a pair last session,
And they were terrible.
They kind of broke.
Oh, that was actually pretty good.
How did you do this time?
Okay, let's see. And which one did you want me to use on that, Steve?
I wanted you to use your dexterity.
Okay, that's a 21.
Okay, with your 21, you actually make a really good, sturdy pair of drumsticks with a good drumstick shape to them, and they look good. You just need some leather working to make it so that they could connect to his stumps.
Okay.
Smoggy says, that looks pretty good. All right, so you guys make your way to the outskirts of Tidetown, which is where Port Ma is on this mini fort, this walled fence area with watchtowers, and guards are looking down, and you guys are in the trees on the outskirts, and Smoggy says, okay, I'll go talk to him. So Smoggy disappears from you guys. You guys wait. About 30 minutes later, Smoggy comes back to you guys and he says, oh, it sounds like they've left. I think the coast is clear.
Alright, thanks, Smoggy. Should we head in?
Okay.
Yes, we were supposed to report on the town that we saved from the monsters, which ended up being purifiers, back to the gnome, which we haven't reported back yet.
Oh, is that the very first one?
Yeah, this is
That I was there, or is this a different town?
this is different.
This is the
It's the
No,
same.
it's
It's the same town.
this is the same.
Where we killed
Yes, where
my
you and the
my
horse.
nemesis.
Yeah.
Yes,
This was a small fishing outpost. Is what
Yep.
it was.
Cool.
Okay. So as we transition into Tidetown, I'm going to set up our map. So let's take a little break.
Hi guys, I'm Mike Anderson, and I play the human fighter Thram and Midnight Flame, the Red Mare. He is, like I mentioned, he is a human fighter that was raised by dwarves, and the main reason that he joined the Purifiers is because he wanted to kind of figure out what life was like as a human, but also to find out what happened to his village. So when he was younger, his village was completely annihilated, and that is why he was raised by dwarves. But after being with the Purifiers for a certain length of time, he realized that they are not the best group of people. They think humans are the superior race, basically, and they want to make everybody else like them, and so he wanted to leave and make sure that his family that raised him, the dwarves, were protected. So that is Thram and Midnight Flame.
Welcome, beholders. Welcome back from our break. So the party has just entered Hightown. Now, what is your party's travel formation as you are traveling through the town? And where would you like to go? Theron, who you were asking for before, is usually found at the Jigging Squid.
What was the nicer of the two?
The nicer one is
No,
the
or the other one?
Sleepy
Sleepy
Mermaid.
Sleepy Mermaid. Yep. That's right. I mean, we still have our rooms there, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we
but
already got
a
a
credit
credit
left.
left.
Yeah.
So, I'll go back to this. I want to go back to the Sleepy Mermaid because they'll clean the armor for us, clean our clothes for us, and stuff like that. So,
I think we should talk to Pharaoh first, though.
yeah, we'll talk to everybody, and then I want to go back and
And see,
Get some
and
good food.
Get the
find a
benefits
place
from-
for Smoggy to stay, because, well, he can stay with us, but he's probably going to want to stay in
a permanent.
in a permanent
place. We'll have to talk to the
Ho-
mayor.
yeah.
after
Hopefully
then.
now we can have a permanent residence here. We'll see.
Very well. Let us head towards
the jigging squid.
The jigging, yeah. Pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
Okay. So the party entering Port Ma, you see your ferrymen are awaiting and wave as they are ready to receive your mounts, and they say, "Welcome. It's been a couple of days." And Tyson Waterbeard says to you guys, he says, if this is going to be an ongoing job, we could work on getting a platform that is semi-submerged in the water, and it would help your steeds get in and out of water a bit easier onto our ferries or onto Tidetown. We just need to get a permit and some gold to pay the carpenters, the dwarves, to craft some platforms.
that work with you too,
As an idea.
Gaeltag, since he's my ferryman.
Gelteg says, yes, me and Tyson were talking earlier. We think that would be a good idea because the other day, one of your mounts jumped into the water, and he points to Sobek. He says, we think he saw a fish or something. He was hungry, and he kind of got half onto the ferry, and we had to ferry him holding on to the raft, and he didn't fully get back onto the raft.
Amazing.
How much gold are you needing?
We're waiting for an estimate back from Sultan Gran soon. The dwarves who are in charge of most of the masonry of the town, and we just need to get a permit from the mayor. So shouldn't be too hard.
Well, we're gonna be speaking to the mayor. We could ask him about the permit. If you let us know how much it'll be, at least I'll chip in. I'm not sure if the rest of the group will, but
These two have no reason to, but I will chip in.
I was like, yeah. And then he's just like, yep.
Well, let us know about the permit, and we'll let you know what we find out for the gold.
Okay. Very well.
All right, so they ferry you guys across, keeping your mounts on the ferries, and you guys are walking through the town, headed towards. You splitting up in half, or you be traveling as one group?
before we went in, I wanted to ask them if they knew of the purifiers that were there before.
Yes, in fact, someone in town recommended that we ferry their mounts, so we got to ferry some like yours. They pointing to Narita, but the other ones, most of them rode the flying ones that you two ride and dismissed theirs.
Did you catch any name?
Yeah.
I can't remember their names, but perhaps you could ask around town at the taverns. We just took the gold and they're purifiers.
Yeah. Okay.
But they were asking around, and we haven't seen anything.
And I'll say thanks, and I'll actually throw him over two pieces of gold.
Oh, thank you. I think we need to settle up too. So I think we're at about 25 gold pieces.
Oh, 25.
A piece.
Okay.
So
I'll hand it over.
I will put mine in there as well.
okay, very
I'm
good.
the only one from our
Should have
party
marked that on
using
your
Gale
sheets.
because
As you guys make your way towards the Jigging Squid first, is that right?
Yes.
That is the closer of the two taverns. You're headed towards the Jigging Squid with your passive perceptions. You guys all kind of notice and hear this. There's a bit of a commotion. Sounds like two people are arguing. You guys see a halfling, and he's very grungy. He kind of looks like he doesn't take a bath very often. And he says, "Oi! I don't like your kind out here. I don't trust you one bit." And he pushes this woman, and she has a cloak pulled over, and she has dark hair, and she also has dark skin. She looks like a drow with dark hair. And she says, "Leave me alone. I am not responsible for my racist crimes." And she's speaking up, kind of using the crowd around here to kind of cater them to her side, hopefully court some favor. And the halfling man says, "I haven't seen me friend for some days now, and last I saw him was with you." And he goes to shove her, and she quickly grabs him and turns him and shoves him in the same direction that he was coming in her end, using his own weight and momentum to push him to the other side, where he falls into the ocean. And he says, "Oh, I can't swim! I can't swim!" And he's now flopping around in the ocean. And she kind of pauses for a minute to look around and drapes her cloak, pulls her cloak a little more forward, and she marches off.
I'm gonna run after her. If you guys want to go save,
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and
I'll
reach.
fish him out of
I'm
the
gonna
water.
dash
Yeah.
towards
Okay.
her.
Okay, and you're dashing towards her, and you two are going after the halfling. You guys go in, and are you guys jumping into the water? Or are you just
How far
landing your
off?
reach.
Yeah,
staff?
how far off the dock is he?
I mean, he's kind of drifting a little bit. He's holding on right now to one of the support beams, is what he's doing. So, a hand reaching down might be able to pull him out of the
Yeah,
water.
I'll just pull him.
We'll
Okay.
both give him a hand.
You guys grab him and pull him back onto the dock together. And he says, "Oh, I didn't want a bath this week."
You could use it, my friend.
Well, we shouldn't be letting her kind. We can't trust him. We can't trust him in the city, not one bit.
Why is that?
She's a drow. She's of the underground. Well, it's like the hells on earth.
I mean, has she done anything to directly hurt you or anyone you know?
She treated me, friend, like some prince. She had no business with him. Not 2 months ago, and I never saw him since. I don't think he went off and married her. I don't know what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure she's responsible.
I'm sure you are. All right. Well, yeah, you can use a bath.
an actual one, maybe not salt water, and have a nice day. And just walk away.
He shakes his head. He's not too sure what to say. His brain's a little slow and clustered right now. He seems quite drunk.
Oh, good.
So, Zulkul, as you catch up to this drow woman, what do?
I reach for her shoulder.
She's walking briskly and she says, "Don't touch me!" And she grabs onto your arm. What's your strength score and your constitution score?
My strength is a 1 and constitution is a 3.
Okay. She grabs onto your arm and she says, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone." "I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else."
My eyes blink.
Your eyes blink sideways? Okay. I'm not sure of any snakes that do that.
No,
but
I'm
I know.
totally
They just slit their eyes, but you're just like,
Yeah.
You can lick one of your eyes if you really want to.
Blink at people.
Be like,
He slowly licks one eye.
why was the little man assaulting you in such way?
I don't know. I face this kind of discrimination everywhere I go. I'm only half drow after all, but I don't deserve it.
I would know what a drow is.
Drow, yes, you do, especially coming from the Underdark yourself.
You seem...
They are distant neighbors,
Yeah.
but not necessarily ones you get along with. Probably not.
Well, nobody gets
Your race.
Well, you do not... You have some traits. Doesn't seem that you show all traits, like you said. What are you, half human?
I am half drow, and I believe I am half human. Yes.
Like,
I don't live in Tidetown. Where are you from?
not from Tidetown either.
Well
Oh,
said.
okay. Where not from Tidetown are you from? Do you have a family?
Yes. With very reluctance. They're dead to me.
Oh, well, mine's dead to me too. And she takes your arm and she kind of tucks her own arm into it as you guys walk along together. She says, "I'm headed for a drink. Would you like to join me?"
I have business to attend to first. And are you paying?
Well, a big, strong man such as yourself can afford to buy a stranger to the big city like this a drink, I think.
What are my gains from buying you a drink?
Play your cards right and find out. She's
a harlot.
And boops your nose with it.
What nose? He's got.
It's a very short, stubby nose.
I imagine him like looking like Voldemort almost. Just like,
Yeah, kind of like Voldemort. Yeah.
So does she like rub his
Just the side of
his nose slit?
I say All right, which bar is it that you'd like to meet up at?
Well, the cheaper of the two, I believe, is the jigging squid.
Oh, actually, that's where we're headed right now.
I don't know what you can afford, so.
The chicken squid should be fine.
He's like,
I
I'm
see.
not gonna
Very
tell you. We're staying at the
It's like,
same
let me
room.
go get my party. And we...
Your party?
Yes.
Band of merry men.
Well, I'm
We
not
have a
interested
mission.
in hanging out with a large group of people. How many are in your party?
7.
7.
there's 6.
Well, I'm looking for something a little more.
Oh,
7 people at once is a bit much for someone like me. I live in the woods by myself, so just me and my mother.
because of
I'm not too interested in a large group. I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
And she lets go of your arm and starts to walk away.
Be like, but there were riches! I won! You said if I played my card right. And then you touched my face.
My parties are private.
As, I think in my head, I've never been to a party where it's private. Okay. Where would you like to... I'll be at the jigging squid, and if you see me alone, then I guess you can come venture my way.
We'll see what happens, won't we? She walks off. Okay, back to the rest of the crew.
you narrowly avoided STDs.
You guys are watching, those of you who weren't right in the immediate vicinity, you're kind of somewhat overhearing this halfling try to talk to Erlyn and Gilby. And he says, "Wait!" And right as you start to walk away, he goes to you and he says, "Shiny one, maybe you can watch her. You should, I'll pay you. I have 8 gold pieces I can give to you.
What do you suspect of?
If you find something, All these 8 babies are yours. I once, maybe you could, I have an idea. Maybe you could go and you could try to persuade this woman for a drink, much like me friend. What business does a half-drow, half-human woman have with an ugly halfling? Me friend stink worse than I did. and she treated him like some handsome prince. She bought him food, she bought him a room, she took him up to the room. I winked, give my friend a wink, and left him to his business. He didn't come down the next morning. I never saw me friend again. You should. You look strong and capable.
I'll say I'll take a look. Being as I am good at convincing the ladies.
Oh, I bet you are. And he like nudges you with his.
And I'll just
elbow
say,
nudge.
he does require half up front for a payment, though.
Oh, make a persuasion check.
That's actually not bad. 18.
I suppose that's a reasonable request. You accept my mission.
Yes, I accept.
Now, here's the gold. Just a thought. There were a lot of other good-looking men. I assume she could have had a lot of them. But she chose me, the ugliest one in the tavern, and the weakest one in the tavern. Take that with you as you will. I'm not always just a slobbering drunk. I have keen observations, and that's what I've observed.
Say, okay, I will take a look and see if I can find your friend as well.
Okay, I'll wait outside.
Okay.
As we walk, I'll be like, that's the easiest 4 gold. You can tell him whatever you want.
I'll give you 2. I'll be like, here. Since
Okay.
Yeah! Scamming halflings out of their money.
So you guys are headed to the jigging squid. Do you go backwards?
I meet
and
up with the party as we're walking that
You
direction.
guys meet up as a group, heading for the jigging squid.
I will inform them that I was offered a private party. I've never been to a private party before.
I was like, wait.
She wanted me to buy a drink, and she said that I would have a pleasant surprise if I did, I guess. Something of
was
the
this
sort.
a half drow?
It was the half drow that
Yeah, we'll look at each other, just laughing.
I'll just be like, just be glad that you didn't get any other surprises from her.
But
From what it sounds like, she's very well known around these parts for other things.
And apparently to understand what these other things are. I do not know.
She's a prostitute.
She may be, or
That's what it sounds
the
like.
halfling that.
So she's a breeder.
Yeah, man, that's the one.
Yes,
That's it.
but she doesn't do it for free.
Why would anybody pay for that?
And from the other.
Because,
halfling,
like you saw that halfling, you probably can't get it any other way.
Interesting.
I'll say the halfling said his friend went with her, and he never came back. His friend, so.
He probably got chlamydia.
Do we do this? What are you?
You don't want
Are
to
you
do that
taking
now.
the money from this man without? This seems like a very
yes.
uncharacteristic thing of you.
No,
Shiny
I
dragon.
did. I was gonna help him, but it seems like she has interest in you, so it may be good for. I'll give you. He only gave us 4 gold pieces, so I'll give you a piece of gold if
4 gold
you.
pieces. This buys me a drink.
No,
No,
Hey,
buys
it'll
her
pay
a
for
drink.
her a drink.
and I'll say if you figure out what happened to his friend, and see why she's here.
She was going to
He'll pay us another 4.
the dancing squid.
The
jigging squid.
The dancing squid.
The jigging squid. Do we want to?
Well, we're headed that way anyways.
Let me get there first, then, and I will convince her to let me buy her a drink.
Okay.
Just keep message open in my mind.
Okay. All right.
I will advance in front of the party for now
Okay.
and pretend that I shook you guys off, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. You guys travel as a party to the jigging squid.
Yeah, just him alone.
dancing
He's in the
So I'm
front.
going to advance forward
you're
first.
going
so I can
like
meet
30
her.
feet in front of the
Yeah.
group. Okay. You go ahead of the group and you see. What's your perception? Passive perception.
The passive perception will be a 9.
Well, okay, with your 9, you don't notice anything, but you hear. No, you don't hear anything. You just go inside. Okay.
Nice.
You go inside, and there's quite a bit of people in this tavern. And the group, as you guys are approaching the area with your high passive perceptions from you two, you guys both spot the dirty halfling, and he's by some old used barrels, and he's trying to hide with the brown cloak. and he's peeking and watching people go in, and he seems to be looking in on the scene. So, you guys are coming in and going to the tavern. You stopping to check with the halfling, or just going in?
I'm sitting alone.
You're ahead of the group. You're inside the tavern at this time.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna check up with the halfling, aren't we?
We'll just be like, we'll let you know what we find out.
I'm just grabbing myself some beer.
Okay.
He's like, yes,
The
a bar.
halfling says, "My name's Faldo,
Oh, fun.
and I think you should be very careful with this woman. If one of you goes in alone, you never know what those drow are capable of." Okay, I hide again, and he pulls up his brown dirty cloak.
I'll just be like, where'd he go? And then I'll walk in.
Okay, you guys go in, and you've had a minute in there alone.
Yep.
And you see that she is walking around. She does have her cloak pulled up, and you can make an insight check as you're kind of observing the scene, trying to watch carefully. With your 12, you see her talking a little bit flirtatiously to a skinny human. You actually recognize this. Actually, it's not a human. This is a skinny elf, and you recognize him as the one who was drawing at the table when you guys were here some time ago. When he was very scared as you guys started dumping goblin ears onto the table that he was drawing on, and he took off and ran. And he's sitting up a little bit straighter, and he's holding a pencil and a sketch pad, and she is whispering into his ear a little bit flirtatiously.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna whisper into his other ear. And I'm gonna tell him, "Don't be alarmed. I like your drawings."
Right as you come up to start to talk to him and whisper into his ear, he goes, "Oh, you again!"
He just hears heavy breathing in his ear for a second.
Yes, me.
And then you make a persuasion check with your compliment on his drawings.
Ooh. What was it? Persuasion?
Yes.
That is going to be a 20.
With your 20, he says, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." And he kind of glances over at the half-drow woman who's speaking into his other ear and kind of looking at you a little hesitantly now that she has two guys in the vicinity. But she tries to smile and sit back and watch what's happening. And he says, "See, I told you I have fans." And he goes back to sketching, and it's another busty tavern witch. Not a lot of variety from last time, it seems. But it's pretty good. It seems he's gotten a little bit better.
I will leave you to your drawings. I forgot to catch your name, young
No,
lady.
I'm Simon.
No, Simon.
Oh,
You're Simon.
as you were talking to the lady
Yes.
and asking for his name, he says, "I'm Simon." And then she kind of smirks and her eyes kind of like roll a little bit. And she says, "You may call me Feldra."
Feldra. Very well, Feldra. I promised you a drink.
Oh, I see. Yes. Make a persuasion check for her.
Oh, crap. Natural 20. Wow.
She says, "I see," and she kind of scratches his shoulder a little bit with her long fingernails, and she says to him, he kind of looks a little bit disappointed. He's not used to competing with other men for dates, and he says, "Oh," he kind of looks a little bit discouraged, and she says, "I'll check out your drawings a little later, young man." And she drags her fingers across his shoulder again. She says, "Find me a table." She gets up and she holds out her arm for you to take.
I will first say, here's 20 gold pieces for the busty lady. And I'll take the drawing. And
He looked very disappointed.
Sign
Then
it.
he's like, "Oh my goodness, 20 gold pieces!" And he starts combing the gold onto his lap and into a pouch. And
Here's
he
20
seems to
gold
have forgotten
pieces
completely about this woman who just complimented him. He feels much better. He goes back to drawing. He takes out a new piece of paper and he starts drawing another busty tavern.
I just wanted you to ask him, hey, can you make one of them a busty snake lady?
I would spit on it. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys have just entered into the tavern at this time as you've been conversing with the drunk outside.
The invisible halfling?
You guys just enter. You guys see as your companion Zulkul is making his way over to a private table. Okay. You guys enter in. Where are you guys seating yourself?
Look for Pharaoh.
You're looking for Pharaoh. You guys look around the tavern, and you guys do spot Pharaoh as he is talking with some humans and a dwarf. It seems like they are armed and they look pretty formidable. And he's talking and laughing with them and having a drink.
We'll approach him.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys approach him, and he glances up. He says, "Oh, you guys! I heard you went after the outpost to the east.
We did.
How did it go? Did you kill the orcs?"
We killed the things that were destroying the village. Yes.
Oh, wonderful!
Orcs, yes.
Have you some orc ears or some kind of proof? I'd be happy to pay you for your efforts.
They were purifiers.
They were purifiers. Did you go to the right village?
Yes.
All the orcs were already
The
dead.
orcs were already dead.
As were most of the villagers.
The purifiers were killing the rest of the villagers.
He goes dead silent. What?
I knew this
Tell me everything.
purifier. I trained with him, and he is brutal. He believes that the ways of the past need to be how the purifier should be now. He feels like they're too lax on how they treat other races. So he was killing everybody. So I killed him.
That is disturbing news. There were others with him?
Yes.
Purifiers.
Multiple. There was 5? 4?
There was like 10 or 12.
Oh. We killed a lot of them.
You guys did. You get with
There
that
was 12 of
hypnotic
them.
pattern.
Yeah.
Half of them
That's
were
right.
preoccupied.
There was 12 of them. But they're dead. All of them.
This is dire news. I'm glad that you killed all of them. But these were, you think, a renegade
Definitely. Yes.
version? Do you think there are
Because
more renegades?
it wouldn't surprise me because it sounded like his wasn't the only faction. But I think that this was a big portion of the ones that are here, at least for right now.
This is very bad news.
I agree. That's why I didn't spare them.
Maybe we should go talk to the mayor. Or I could talk to the mayor, and when he's ready to talk and ask questions, I can find you here, this tavern?
We have, some of us have accommodations here, some of us have accommodations at the Sleepy Mermaid, but if you have time,
Okay.
whenever,
2 taverns.
I'm more than happy. I can't speak for the rest of my party, but I'd be more than happy to go talk to the mayor because we also want to discuss
Yeah.
getting a house here.
Okay. Well,
I agree.
it's hard to pay when there's no survivors, it sounds like. We haven't seen anyone come our way, any refugees, but
That's because there's
I wanna
not
pay
going to
you.
be any.
you
Except
boys
for
something.
Smoggy here. He was part of the group. He is a survivor of the town.
Smoggy's face kind of goes white, and he says, yes. And then he resolves himself, and he holds up his stumps. And he
His
says,
drumstick stumps.
they took me hands! They took them! They called it purifying. They were purifying me. And he goes into the grisly details of his side and recollection of what happened, and they begin talking. The other adventuring party that Pharaoh the Gnome was talking to before, they respectfully, quietly get up and they walk away and have a drink at another table. While this is going on, Feldra comes in to speak with you. She says, I don't believe you shared your name with me, did you?
No, I did not. It is Zulkul.
Zulkul. What charming eyes you have, Zulkul. She boops your cheek right next to your eyes. She says, now your family, you say, is dead to you. So you are something of a loner, yes?
Yes.
Now what about this party you spoke of before?
They decided to go a different direction. They went to the Sleeping Mermaid.
Deception check.
For the crap, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's not bad. Deception. That's a 20.
Oh, I see. Well, their loss is my gain. She scoots her chair in closer to you, and she says, "I'll have a flagon of your finest wine, tavern wench." And the tavern wench, Linnea, who works at this tavern, she kind of rolls her eyes a little halfway and says, "Of course." And then she goes and she brings you guys a flagon of wine, a couple mugs, and she Feldra begins to make sure that your glass is always full. And she is drinking alongside you, but she is kind of sipping her wine. How engaged are you with the drink?
I'll be drinking, yeah. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Not super drunk where I'm like throwing these things down, but
Okay.
enough to probably feel good.
Sounds good. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's good. 17.
Very good. You are intaking the toxins of the alcohol, and you are feeling the effects, but you're also still feeling very much yourself at this time. And she says, "So, tell me, you have this blade. Are you a warrior?"
I would. Yeah, warrior probably matches the description the best. Adventurer.
And tell me about your greatest adventure.
Greatest adventure. I'm a little tipsy, slayed a rammer has and many snow giants, frost giants.
Many snow giants and many frost giants. That sounds quite amazing. Tell me about the fight while this is going on. The information is being exchanged with Smoggy and Pharaoh, and Pharaoh says, "Okay, well, I think I better go have a talk with the mayor. Here's some gold for your troubles." And there's no deal that was exchanged necessarily. It was hopefully for orc slaying at the time, but with everything else that happened, there's still a pot of 250 gold in this bag that he pulls out, and you guys are able to distribute as you see fit.
I'll talk to the party first, but I will say I'm fine donating at least my share and back to the town, because I want to let the mayor know, like, we are here to help. We won't always do things for free because we do need to make money for ourselves, but we really do want to make a good standing for ourselves here so we can live here.
I think it would also be good to put money towards making a prosthetic for Smoggy.
Yeah.
Oh. And what about the rest of the gold? Would you like to keep the gold? Would you?
Y'all get to make that decision for me.
Yep, all but Zulkul.
Zulkul will donate his portion of the gold.
He loves this town and he wants to see
He
it
does.
thrive.
So, Erlin, Nareda, and Murad, how are you guys responding about the gold?
I'll give a portion of my gold.
Okay. Well, why doesn't one of you take out your abacus and calculate what the division of the gold would be, and you guys decide how much
250?
people are keeping. Yep, divided
Divided by
6
six.
ways.
41.
So 41, it's not a lot of gold.
41.6.
So you guys can pencil in and let me know how much of it you're keeping, if you're keeping
I'm
on.
donating all to
Just tell
Smoggy
me.
for
Me too.
the prosthetic on
I'll split it
Smoggy.
half and half, some to Smoggy and some to the town.
Okay, half and half.
I'll be
I'll-
donating like 10 gold to the town.
Okay, very good.
I'll do half and half as well, half to Smoggy and half to...
Okay, Pharaoh takes back most of the gold. Is that what you're doing as well?
I'm just giving to Smog.
Okay. And Pharaoh is
Smoggy's
very
very
generous.
rich.
I will make sure that this goes towards that way. Do we need a full prosthetic, or just the leatherworking, or just the prosthetic itself? What's
Just so he can, like,
Quick
actually,
jumps.
like, do something, like, grab stuff.
I would say, I mean, with that, I don't know how much they cost, but I think with that amount of gold, he would be able to have
We
a
might-
couple of different...
we might be able to get something magical that would be of much more use with
Yes.
the amounts of gold that this is beginning to accumulate.
That'd be great.
That'd be better.
Yeah.
I'll check in with you guys in the next couple days. I gotta go talk to the mayor. So he hops off of his booster seat and he exits the tavern.
Booster seat.
Okay, as this is going on, you guys kind of look around and you guys do spot Zulkul is speaking with this figure from before. Are you guys just staring? Are you guys trying to be subtle and keep your presence hidden? What do you guys
You
do?
said it there at a private table. Are there other like booths, or is it close
You guys
to the
are at a
bar?
large
or-
table, so you're at a booth.
What about them? Are they close?
They are at a table, and they are more in the
It's more secluded.
a little bit secluded, a little bit.
I just
Not
say
terrible,
How-
not
how-
terribly secluded.
How
There's-
close are they to the artist, the resident artist we have?
The artist is in one of the far corners at a booth table by himself, and maybe that won't last, but yeah.
Is he close? Is he close to them?
He's 2 tables away from where they're at right now. You guys are about 4 tables away from where they're at right now.
I'll go to the bar. I'll get a drink. I'll get a couple of drinks, and then I'll go to the table that the aspiring artist is at.
Okay.
And I'll give him a drink, and I'll be like, I really like your drawings.
Oh, thank you. I just sold my last one for 20 gold pieces. Would you like me to? I can finish this tavern wench for you, or do you have something else I can draw for you?
What other things do you know how to draw?
Well, I can draw orc tavern wenches, I can draw dwarf tavern wenches, and I can draw goblin tavern wenches, and I can draw elf tavern wenches, and I can draw dragonborn tavern wenches.
I'll lean in and I'll be like, does anybody actually want a goblin tavern wench?
There's all kinds of flavors and folks out here. It's not a very popular one. To be honest.
More power to him. What's your favorite one to draw? The whole reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to keep him engaged and make it seem like I'm actually having a conversation with him, but I'm trying to listen
I like
to
the Goliath tavern wench.
And what are you drawing right now?
I'm drawing a half-orc tavern wench. You see her tusks? And he's starting to shit on the tusk right now.
How about when you're done with that one, I want to see this Goliath one you're talking about.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea. I'm almost done. And he leans over his drawing and he starts shading really, really fast.
I'm going to, that is beautiful. For perception, because I want to see if I can hear what they're talking about. That is, that's a 27.
With the perception? All right, very good. You are listening acutely and kind of focusing out the noise, and you can definitely see, especially from body language. She's touching and caressing Zulkul, his elbow, his shoulder, his arm, and trying to make him feel very confident in his charisma and his ability to woo a woman. And bolstering his confidence. And Zulkul, you were getting these signals from her. Mm-hmm. Roll an insight check just to see.
No.
Nice.
I mean, she's extremely forward. I'd say
6.
you need you're pretty sure she likes you, but flirtations is something that's not terribly common. Than certainly with your upbringing that you had at that point in your life to date, but. Yeah. Okay. You kind of feel like she likes you, but she's like sending a lot of signals, but you're not getting all of them.
I'm gonna ask her, tell me, where are you from? And I'm gonna try to charismatically
Caress her face.
persuade her to tell me the right
Go ahead
information.
and make your persuasion roll.
That's a good. It was a 17 because that is 21.
With your 21, she says, well, I live in the woods not too far from here. Close enough that I can come to visit Tide Town and a big settlement once in a while. I'm used to living alone, you see. The forest takes care of most of my needs. I try to be at one with nature, but sometimes a woman has other needs, and she drapes her finger just top to bottom of your head, and she says, what a lovely scalp you have. Your scales, that's almost like they're polished.
I got ashy elbows.
I don't know if she would take this right, but I'd say, yes, I like the fact that your hair is dark instead of gray, like most of your kin.
Yes, I believe I may have gotten that from my father. I don't know. I just live alone with my mother out in the woods.
Is your mother drowned?
Well, if you must know, yes, that's where my drow heritage comes from. But you won't judge me for that, will you?
Now, being from the Underdark myself, I have no
Really?
cares about that.
Wow. That is quite interesting. I've never lived in the Underdark, but my mother is from it. She tells me
Maybe you
many
can take me
stories
to
from
meet
the
your mother.
Underdark. Perhaps I will. Very, very well I may. Oh, do you want to get out of here?
Do I have... You didn't cast message, son of a gun.
I can cast it now. It's not like
No, you can't, because you didn't bring it up. He brought it up.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
He did bring it up before
He did bring
they
it up
went into
before.
the tavern, but
Okay.
so I
Then
could.
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're still in my view. I can.
Okay.
I will.
So if I were to see you stand up, yeah, I'd cast message
Yeah,
and
say,
be like, where are
let's.
you going?
That's fine with me. I was like, sure.
Okay, you guys standing up and
Yep.
you hear
Then
Gilby's
I'll
message.
just kind of see, and then I'll message you and be like, cool, what's going on? What are you
We're
doing?
going somewhere private, is what she said in my mind. So
You guys definitely see them getting up to go there. And message, does he have to speak aloud? I think he does.
I don't know if it's allowed.
I think so.
I wouldn't speak up. I would know better. So,
Right.
but he's asking me a question. I guess. He was.
Just ask her that.
Are they
So
going
we go
upstairs in
somewhere.
that tavern, or are they leaving the tavern?
So we'll wait to
We don't know
see.
yet.
Right
That's
at
a
this
whisper.
moment, they've just stood up.
It's a whisper. Oh, never. Actually, it's you point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message.
Okay, so
So he
so you
sees
know
them
you have
stand
to
up.
whisper back. So if you're going to try to communicate back, you will need to make an attempt with a sleight of hand or stealth. All either one.
I will just point in that general direction, like this, kind of like that, in where the party is, and say, "So where are we headed?"
She says, "Oh well, I think we pay up front here." And she takes your arm and kind of urges you forward to the bar to pay for a room.
Yes.
Okay. So you point in the general area of the stairs that would go up to rooms, and she escorts you to the front of the tavern. The party you guys see coming out of the kitchen, you guys see a very tall, dark copper-skinned man with a tattoo on his eye, his muscles glistening as he's shirtless, walk out, and he's got some three beat up figures, a beat up dwarf, a beat up human, and a beat up another beat up human that are walking out, and they're kind of glaring at him, and he's leaving with some other people. A lot of people are coming out of this kitchen area and exiting and going out to get a drink.
yeah,
What's going on?
And the three men, he says, "Let me buy you guys a drink," and he flips a coin to the tavern wench, and then he says, "Drinks for all these men right here." And the three men look beaten and battered. Their eyes are getting puffy, and they're favoring shoulders and ribs. And Tyson looks like he's taken a few jabs, but he's standing confidently and toughly. And he says, "Come back again, and this time I'll take on all three of you at once, and I'll meth you up real good." And he leaves the tavern.
Now, kid.
Yes. Okay.
So she
I
says, "I think you can pay for our room, can't you? Big strong man like you."
Sure.
Okay, so it's a gold piece for
Yep.
a room. Okay, you buy a room, and you are escorted by Linnea, who takes you guys upstairs and unlocks your room and gives you guys a key for the evening, and you enter your room.
I did roll a stealth check because I wanted to kind of follow up and see where their room is, so I know which one it is.
Yes.
I rolled a 25 for stealth.
Oh, very good. Okay, you feel very good about your sneaking, and you're up in the corner. You're trying to be inconspicuous, keeping a good distance, maintaining a good distance between you and them, and you see which room that they go into on the second floor. Okay, you've entered the room.
As soon as I see that, I'll go back downstairs and I'll tell everybody else, this is the room they're in. I mean, what do we do at this point? Do you still have potions of invisibility? I mean, not that you want to see what's going to
I have
happen.
two.
but-
I have my door.
I have two. She has a clone. No, that's clone copy though.
She has she has an invisibility ring,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
she
yeah,
has
yeah.
like 4 invisibility potions right now.
Yeah.
I think it might be beneficial to have, as much as I'm probably going to regret saying this, it's going to be beneficial to have somebody in the room.
Well, right now the room door is closed because that's how rooms work when they want privacy. Is they close the door immediately after
Yeah.
entering.
But what we can do is we can just say, because we'll pay the bar to send up food, and just say that we'll have the bar make up a lie and just say that they because they bought a gallon of, or a flagon of the best wine, that they got a meal for free,
Yeah.
and then you can try and sneak in at that point.
Okay, so the first thing that happens when the door is closed, she gives your shoulder a nice squeeze, and she says, "My, you're quite strong, aren't you?"
Sure.
She takes her cloak off. And she's wearing a dark leathers, and she says, "Boy, it sure is hot in here." And she walks over to the window, and she opens the window all the way, and she says, "Oh, it's too stuffy in here." "I like the heat." "I'm sure you do. I like the outside temperature." And she goes and she boops your nose again. And okay, back at the
I'll go up to the bar, and I'll just be like, I noticed my friend might have gone up with somebody. I want to give them a free meal, but I don't want them to know it's from me. I'll pay you for the meal, but can you just say that they got it because they bought one of the best things of wine, and so it's on the house or something?"
Okay, make a persuasion check. Pretty easy check. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Got the teens
13.
right there. Okay. So Linnea says, "Sure, I'd be happy to do that."
Thank you.
Is it a special occasion for them?
I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? It might be.
Okay. I'll try to be quick before they
Yeah.
get too crazy in there. She hurries and grabs some loaves of bread and some cheese, and a couple drumsticks of chicken. And she starts to head upstairs.
Now it's you.
She's in a hurry. So who's going inside? The door will only be open for so long. So
Persian stealthy.
Am I gonna go alone?
Yeah.
you're gonna cast invisibility on yourself and go alone.
No.
Okay, so you cast invisibility on yourself, and you hear someone on the corner say, "Where'd she go?" And you just head upstairs. Okay, and you go to the room, and you follow behind Linnea, who's trying to briskly balancing a tray of food and goodies, and gives a curt knock on the door, and Felder says, answer it to you.
I'm like, what? Fine. I'll go and open the door.
You go and open the door, pulling your shirt back down, and Lenny says, "Sorry to bother. These are a gift on the house for you to have this evening." Handing you a tray of goodies: cheese, bread, chicken.
Okay. They gave us food.
And as the door is open, you have to push your way past without causing alarm, Linnea. So make a stealth or sleight of hand. I don't know if one's better than the other for you. It's probably the same.
Your stealth is +9, so that's a 24.
With your 24, as the door is about to close, you just put your hand on it, and you kind of feel a little bit of resistance as you're starting to close the door, and then you would just it goes away, and then you close the door. Okay, so right now, Nareda is in this room with Feldra and Zulkul. Feldra, she begins to remove her clothes. And
I'm like, cool, let's do this!
Now, nothing out of the ordinary of what you would expect in a situation like this happens. Okay, she there's a little more teeth involved than you would expect, but other than that, it's pretty straight up. Okay, after the business is concluded, you're just waiting.
She's just like, what if I just put it on? I'm like, yeah, we got her. I'm just
After the business is concluded, she says, "Boy, now I kind of feel hungry." And what happens next is, as you've been trying to ignore, I assume, as best as you can, you see as a couple of entities begin to appear into this room that were not in the room a minute ago. And you see, we're gonna set up our battlefield here real quick. And there are a couple of large creatures, phase spiders, that appear from out of the ethereal dimension into this one that have been in this room. And we have initiative that is already pre-rolled and ready for us. So, Zulkul, your guard's been up a little bit. So you actually do get to go first.
I'm gonna cast
initial round of combat.
I'll cast Blur. And then I'll ask, what's her face?
You don't have armor or anything right now, by the way.
Yeah, I know, that's why I cast Blur.
I do need to make the spiders have a a surprise round, but you are first ahead of the initiative. I'm
Okay, that's fine.
role-playing your initiative that you rolled, which is very good. The spiders are appearing out of an ethereal plane, and they are coming in. And
Shield.
they make
I
attacks.
might as well shield right now, so I'm gonna have to use. I'm gonna use 2 of my 4 spots that I have open.
All right, all right. Well,
So there's that.
because it is a
That's a
surprise,
I wouldn't
you
get-
won't be shielded
Okay.
on this one.
Okay, that's fine. Then I won't.
You can shield on all the others. So, on this first attack, the spider appears, crawls up to you, and bites. And she says, "Feed, Ecor, and Bezelteg." And this is a 16 on one of them, which is a miss with your shield for sure.
Oh no, I didn't cast shield because
You didn't cast shield. What's your armor class?
Without my armor would be holy crap.
Yeah,
Don't
wouldn't it
know,
be 10?
actually.
Isn't just basic.
Well, you have armor, right?
Well,
He
Would
just
you-
You're unarmored
Yeah.
right now. What's your dexterity modifier?
It is a 3.
Thank you. Thank you for catching that. So your armor class is 13 right
13. Okay.
now. And these spiders look quite rough. They one of them is missing a couple of its eyes, and it comes up to you and it sinks its fangs into you, and the other one comes up and sinks its fangs into you. You suffer a total between the two of them, a total of 20 piercing damage, and then you need to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
I'm immune to poison if it's poison.
You're immune to poison.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so
the
you
people
would have
that do
suffered
this.
if you had failed both con saves and were susceptible to poison. You would have suffered over 90 points. You would have suffered over 100 points of, over 90 points of poison damage. But because you're immune, you only suffered 20 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
The 2 spiders bite into you, and you just kind of feel the sting of fangs. You're not feeling poison happening, and she kind of looks to you and says, "You're too strong to be awake right now, mister." And
So you aren't as familiar with my people as I am familiar with yours.
it is
I
now
will
your turn.
roll to grab my sword, and I will.
Well, you don't have to grab it; you can just magically appear it in your
Oh, that's
hand.
right,
but
yep.
yes.
I will cast. Never mind. I'm just going to stay as I am right now, and I am going to Hexblade curse her, and I will make my attacks.
Yes, to
Which
attack.
That's rough.
Whoa. She's naked too. I'm attacking her. I'm not even going after the spiders.
Okay, her armor right now is 13.
gonna stab her twice.
Fudge, I still missed. God, guys.
She casts shield on herself.
Yeah. Okay. I miss on the attacks then.
Okay.
This is gonna be a great situation for us to just walk straight into.
All right, shield is cast. You're hearing a little bit of loud voices, not too loud yet, but that was Zulkul. Zulkul, are you giving out any alarm or cries or anything, or are you just engaging in? You just cast a spell. And you
Yes.
spoke with her.
Yeah, I said I put a curse upon you as I yell, and I say that.
All right, everybody. So you need a
May the black
perception.
razor absorb your soul
I
like
got
the
a
spiders.
21.
Okay. Okay. Then you hear him say, "I'll put a curse upon you."
Yes.
No,
And
we don't know.
unless that was dirty talk.
Well, with my 21, when I've heard other stuff like,
With your 21, you're good.
okay, so then I'm
Your
assuming
ears
I'm
like
next.
flat against the door.
No, that doesn't sound right.
The whole time you've been like, that
It's like-
sounds right, that sounds right.
Well,
Maybe
no,
this
it
part
hurts.
does it.
He does that with the glove on? What the heck? Just kidding. His gauntlet of weapon, yeah, because I too do that. Gauntlet of weapons.
All
gotta
right.
be a light
So
feature.
Zulkul just
Switch
went
out
through.
quick.
You hear that, and I'm gonna say with the surprise round that happened this time, you're gonna go next, and then Thram will go. Okay. So Nareda, you're in the room. You're seeing what's happening. The spiders have appeared and bitten. What would you do?
Assassinate.
Yeah,
Thing
that's
about
the
Okay. Very good. So who are you going for? Her or one of the 2 spiders?
to her.
You're going to hurt.
Okay,
Yeah.
right now she has
Can
an
you
arcane shield up, so her armor class right now is 18.
Okay, I got 22.
Very
Yeah.
good. All right.
And it was.
It's an automatic crit because it's an assassin.
Yes, so it's 70 damage.
How much? 70? 70 damage.
She's like, oh, I've been.
You stab her right through the neck, and you feel the weight as her body just drops.
Instantly drops.
She's down. She had
It's a
a
true
reasonable
assassination.
amount of health, but
Not 70.
not that much. So she drops down dead as you, expert assassin, stabbing your blade
Sneak
right through her
attack and
neck.
assassination.
I healed back 7.
Well, she
That
has
does
2
so much.
attacks too, though, doesn't she?
You have a bonus action
Oh.
attack as well if you would like to use that as well. It won't be a sneak, but yeah.
That's fair.
You just would attack and just roll the d8.
My curse moves to the spider as she has died.
Is that a bonus action on your turn to do, or is that a
It is
reaction?
on my turn. Well, so on my turn,
on
I
your
will
turn
move
to
this.
do.
Take this brother.
Yeah, you can try to spider.
And is the camera getting this room right
I'm
now?
hasted.
It's in the corner. Yeah, it's on the side.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hit her though. Never mind.
You don't have sneak attack. It's just a regular attack.
Yeah, you'll just roll a d8 if you
If I
hit.
hit her,
Your
then I
armor
got 10.
is pretty easy. It's a
Not
15.
this time.
Yeah, she hit.
Awesome. So you roll your d.
Plus 5.
Actually, you might have a
I know.
d10 with
It's a
it.
10.
So just the
Oh.
die.
Just the die.
Just
It's
the
just
7 damage.
Oh,
Very
it is-
good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Because it's your offhand. It's not your.
So you come in and you stab one of the 2 spiders. This is Ecor that you just stabbed. That was Felder's turn. Thram, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna kick that effing door
Alright,
down.
so make a attack roll against the door. Let's make an athletics against the door.
Would it be athletic or strength?
Just do a strength.
Perfect. Not perfect. 9.
The door it rattles heavily, but that is it at this time. That's one of your attacks. You can do it.
That's a sturdy dude.
19.
With your 19, this time you're like, oh, okay, and you kick the door as full blast, and the door flies open, and you can step inside and make way. It's a tight quartered room. This is just a 1 gold piece room here. So with the bed and everything, and there's not a ton of room to work with. It's now very crowded, as there are a dead body, a bed, 2 giant spiders, and
I will.
Two other
Are
party
both the
members.
spiders are engaged with him, right?
yes.
I'll try and position myself as best I can, so I'm in between at least one of the spiders and him. If
Well,
not,
they're both things that are sticking into him right now. There's no positioning available.
okay.
for that.
Then I'll flank it then, so that he has advantage. I'll flank it.
Ironically, he's the best tank for this fight presently. But yes.
Yes, indeed.
That's
okay,
fair.
you don't know that. You run him right up to the spider. You're like, oh no, 2 spiders are biting my friend. You remember flashbacks happening. Arlen, who was attacked by a giant spider, bit in the neck, and she dropped. You know that's
Technic-
devastating damage.
Oh, I couldn't do that now because it's animated.
So you've rushed up into the room and into position. Murad, you are by the door right behind Bram. You can go.
I'm gonna throw my axe.
Awesome. You rush up into the room. You come in and you can throw your attack roll with your axe. Right now, because of some cover that's starting to happen, because
Well, everyone's gonna hate me because
you critically failed.
actually no, I gotta reroll that. I'm not melee, so I don't get reckless. That's a 15.
15 hits.
All right. That's on the first attack, and then the second attack. That one will hit. $25 damage.
25 points of damage. You come in and you hack into the creature, and one of its legs falls off, and it starts to burrow into another leg as it is badly hurt. You're attacking the same one that Narita attacked before, and it looks badly hurt, but it is still alive at this time. It is now Narita's. Narita went Gilby, and then Arlen.
Okay. I'm gonna use.
Are you standing? You come inside. You don't really have room to attack unless you have a reach
No.
weapon. Or
I'm
a
gonna.
ranged weapon.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Dissonant Whisper on the one. Just the one that's closest to me.
Okay, very good. It does a
that's-
wisdom.
It needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
All right, it fails.
So it takes 9 damage of psychic damage, and it needs to move, and it goes away from me. It needs to.
It is
as
backed
its
into
reaction-
a corner. It has no more. It can
Oh,
be further
okay.
from you
Gotcha,
than it is
gotcha.
right now. Right now.
Okay.
Okay, so it starts feeling a strange whispering into its mind, and these spiders are actually intelligent enough to understand certain things. So,
And I'll use my bonus action to bardically inspire Zuko.
oh, very good.
That's a
All
plus
right.
8.
Yeah, plus
D8.
1d8.
Evelyn, it is now your turn.
Alright, I'm going to go to the door and pull out my crossbow and shoot twice. My lowest hit was a 20.
You hit 2 times
So I do 22 damage to near spider.
to the nearest spider. All right, 2 bolts are sticking into its abdomen, and another one of its eyes pops as the bolt penetrates through its eye. It's looking quite hurt. It is now. Everybody went, right?
Yep,
Zulkul
Zulkul's turn now.
is up next.
Okay, I attacked twice. My lowest to hit was a 19.
Very good.
You should have advantage.
Hunter's mark has been moved.
You have advantage.
Then let me roll and see if I get. Nope. Okay, I did hit twice. And
Now you're attacking one spider 2 times, correct? And which one?
Yes, the one I Hunter's marked, which is
Okay.
whichever. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I'll say it's the one that is in the corner with Narita and Murad
Okay.
attacking.
Ooh, wait, that's a 1. Could be 9 plus 8, 6, 14. 9 plus 4, 25 damage.
25 damage. You stab it, and then stab it again into its abdomen until it eventually stops and then curls. As spiders actually don't have muscles in their legs; they have fluid for hydraulics, and its legs curl back in when it dies.
Cool. I am hasted on the next round, and I move the
Hunter-
I can't move
the-
the Hunter's mark
okay.
until the end of my turn.
Thram, it is your turn.
All right, the spider, the other spider that
Is
is
alive?
sandwiched.
Yes.
I hit twice. I'm assuming because the lowest to hit is going to be an 18.
You got him. Yeah.
And with my flail, I'm going to smash him twice. He's going to take 13, 17, 23 damage.
23 points of damage. This spider is on its last legs. But next up, it is Feldra's turn.
She's dead.
Feldra is not a party member, so it is now Murad's turn.
Yeah.
she murdered her.
Alright,
That was a legit assassination.
That was.
That is her
good.
character right there.
That's perfect.
I only hit once. And I hit for 11 damage.
Very good. This spider is now dead. As you come in with your axe and you hack through the rest of its legs, this remaining couple legs just curl in and it collapses onto the ground and dead.
I squish it with my sword right after stealing its soul.
Linnea says, "What's the commotion? What's going on? Oh dear, what happened in here?" And there is tons of blood gushing from 3 corpses into this room. And she says, "Oh, if only I had a wizard with that cleanup spell. I don't know what it's called." And she goes downstairs. She says, "I'll get a mop."
I'll tell her, seeing how she's just like completely dejectedly doing it, I'll like, grab 2, I'll help you out.
I'm standing in the middle of the room naked. Just like
You
that
got
was
a
the most
sword in
interesting
hand,
breeding
naked.
process I have ever had in my life.
I was like, never, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, hey,
I got so enthralled in the fight, so now
I know you've got Black Razor, but you need to put Junior away.
You need to sheathe one of those weapons.
Snaky
sir.
Junior.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you need to sheathe your second sword, dude.
Daggers are not allowed in this tavern. Okay, so Linnea comes up with a couple of mops and a bucket, a couple of buckets, and she hands you a mop, and she says, "So, what happened?"
Zuko had a little bit too much fun in here.
I'm gonna help just like drag the corpses out
Yeah.
so we can get them
No,
out
I'll
of the
just
way.
be like, well, we had our suspicions that she wasn't necessarily being completely forthcoming. That's the word. And so that's why I had you bring the food up so that she could come in. I'm sure she saw some things she did not want to see,
Yeah.
but she did
my.
help. So I'll also. Is she the actual?
Linnea is a tavern wench. She does not run the bar.
Oh, okay.
She's fairly familiar with Nareda, Gilby, and Murad as they rescued her son.
Okay. Well, sorry about the mess.
She calls down, "Simon!" Well, no, there's 2 people named Simon in this tavern right now, but you hear a yes, and then you hear a little boy say, "She's calling for me, silly!" And he runs up the stairs and he's like, "Oh, I'll get the blankets, and he goes back downstairs for some blankets to help carry the corpses out without dragging too much blood. You're piling the corpses presently. You take the extra legs and you toss them out the window into the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fish food.
Just what should we do with the dead?
The large carcasses.
Can I investigate her to see what?
Linnaeus, yeah, you guys can search her stuff, which is on one of the nightstands.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, very nice.
Sweet.
I'm too busy putting on my pants
I've
and my clothes and my armor.
I'm just gonna get the corpses out of there.
18.
Linnea did have a ring on, which is a magical ring. You cast Ritual Identify later, after this you guys search and clean. And you find that this is a ring of escape, and it has 3 escaping spells on it. It has 1 Misty Step, 1 Invisibility, and 1 Dimension Door.
Wow, that's actually pretty
It's a
cool.
good ring.
Or for someone else.
It's good for someone who needs to escape either by being vulnerable in combat or by being alone once in a while too, whatever. So
Danny or me.
I'm
I'm
not
okay.
really
I have
alone
good
in-
armor class.
I'm not really.
Well,
alone in
or even
combat,
imagine
though.
if she like Dimension Doors or Misty Steps right next to someone's like, see ya.
That's true. That's actually that would be really good for you.
So you have a ring of invisibility right now. You could either have a second ring that has that already, or you can give your regular ring of invisibility to someone else.
Are those 3 spells? Like you can use each of those 3 spells once
Each of
a
those
day?
once per day.
Oh, that's. I
It's
think
really-
that'd
it's
be
a
better.
really nice-
Yeah.
Best
For her,
really
then
nice
somebody else
ring.
could have the invisibility ring.
I'll be like, how much of that did you unfortunately watch?
She also had
Narrator.
50 gold
Don't talk
pieces.
to me anymore.
I did not say you needed to come in here. Whose
You're more
whose plan was
disgusting
it?
It was my plan. I didn't trust her.
I didn't know I had such feral instincts.
I'll be like, don't worry. I don't think that's ever gonna happen again.
So she also had 50 gold pieces, and she also had a journal, which one of you can read through, if you would like to.
If nobody else takes it, I'll take it and then I'll read it later. But I'm still helping clean. What are we gonna do with her body? Is there somewhere in town that you want us to dispose of it, or should we just toss it out the window?
Hold on. We're good.
That's like, haven't you stabbed her enough already?
Yeah, he did.
High five from me. Anyways, sorry.
Linnea says, hang on, this is taking way too long. She goes outside, and you guys try to keep mopping up blood, but there's just so much blood from 3 corpses. So after about 10 minutes of trying to contain the blood just to be in the room, in walks a familiar Warforged character you guys met on your first day, one of your early days here. This is Tanner, and Tanner steps in and says, "Oh goodness!" And he begins to casting prestidigitation all over this room, trying to clean up the blood. And he says, "Do I want to know what happened?" And as he's cleaning up all the blood on the walls, blood on the floor,
Blood on his sword.
blood on the sword, just blood everywhere. So, anyway, he is something of a
Yeah, dimension.
law enforcement in this area, so his question
She
wasn't
seems
just
to be
requested.
she seemed like she was perhaps an assassin of some sort. I came in here for breeding purposes, and then she tried to murder me with her spiders.
Wait, you came in here for breeding, and she sent 2 phase spiders on you,
Yes.
and you're standing, and you don't even look sick.
Nope. Poison doesn't affect me like it affects.
Ah, you're a
spiders.
Warforged like me. He gives you a playful push on your shoulder.
Yes.
You push back, and he says,
And then they keep pushing each other back and forth.
Are you immune to poison then?
Yes.
That's
Dimension door.
most fortunate, most fortuitous. This could have gone very differently, it seems.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, we were tipped off by
But you can use
disappearing gnome.
once every
Or halfling, I mean.
Long rest.
He's not really disappearing. He's out by the barrels out front, covered up by a tarp. He
Now that
told
all
us to keep an eye.
the blood's cleaned up, you guys have these large carcasses wrapped up into blankets that are being carried outside to be made into shark bait, shark chum, and it's taken outside. And yes, some of the legs are being kept. Then Leia says, I think our chefs like to experiment once in a while, and she keeps some of the legs. Smoggy, who's been downstairs all this time, says, "What in the nine hells happened up there?" And he's looking. He goes and he walks up to the spider corpses, and he says, "Hey, no one took their poison yet." And he's tapping the spider fangs, and he says, "Gilby, let me show you what you should do. Get over here, son."
I'll head over.
So he says, "All right, now very carefully, you have to use a knife and cut in just behind the fangs here, and they have a gland. You don't want it to burst, but you can take the gland and you can get some poison. It's quite useful."
Okay.
And your line of work.
I'll go ahead and
Make
try
a survival check.
Okay.
This is for one of the spiders.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's 17 without the the thing.
You successfully harvest its poison, and so what this will do is it'll apply to a weapon's next 2 attacks, and it'll just add a flat 23 poison damage to each.
Jeez.
I'm gonna give that to who does a lot of physical damage that would be
These
able
two.
to use this.
Actually, these 3.
And there are
I'm in
2
the middle.
spiders, so another attempt can be made for an
Okay.
additional vial of this poison.
I'll try again.
That wouldn't be bad for a range.
Survival?
Dipping the bolts.
Where's
on
survival?
crossbow bolts.
Yes.
What the heck?
It's wisdom.
No, 16.
For the second one.
With the 16, you were able to successfully harvest the poison without spilling the sack.
So how much? How many?
So you have 2 vials of this poison.
Okay, I'll give one to Thram, and then I'll give one to
Ireland?
Mhm.
Okay. Remember to write down how much damage it adds to and for 2 attacks. The next 2 attacks. Okay. All right. Smoggy kind of looks at you. He says, "Well, I've been listening into these guys. How was it? Well, these guys."
Breeding process was fantastic, but the pillow talk after was not.
Okay. So, you guys clean up everything that's happened. You get the magical ring, and you guys see a dwarf who's walking around, and he says, "Oh, Thram, good to see you again." And you recognize this is a dwarf. You can't quite. Well, let's have you roll a history check to see if you remember this dwarf guard's name, who you would see, but you don't. There's a lot of names, a lot of dwarves back there.
History?
Yeah, history check.
11.
This is either Bill or Barry.
Bill or Barry?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Oshrak, what's up, B?
Hey, what's up? He says, your dad came to see you. He heard some purifiers fitting your description. We're down here, but I think he's at the Sleepy Mermaid Inn. He heard that's where you stay.
It is. We just had something to deal with here really quick, and I'll head over there. Do you know, is he staying there too, or is he just hoping that I'm
I
going to
think
be there?
he's just in the lounge right now, making himself at home.
All right. That's good to know. I'll go see if I can find him. It's been a while since I've seen him.
Okay, very good. And on that note, I think that's a great place for us to end. So thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our latest episode.